Let's start it off with the Public Order Act. Even if this is a discussion that is not new to Zambian politics and the Zambian freedoms, every successive governments have deliberately ignored the Public Order Act, and that's largely because it tends to favor the party that is in government. Do you think that we are brave enough as a country to deal with this Public Order Act, and do you believe that the current administration, seeing as they are only 5 months into their 5 years, are capable of dealing with the POA?
I don't want to be judgmental, but let me put it this way. You have to get into the history of the Public Order Act. Okay? The current Public Order Act came as a result of the Supreme Court judgment in the Christine Murundika case. Okay? And when the National Party, that time, contested in court, some of the provisions of the Public Order Act then, which we had inherited from the British, their argument was that there were provisions in the Act which were not sitting well with the democratic dispensation. And the Supreme Court agreed with the litigants. In a reaction to that Supreme Court judgment, which was damning really on the government, that the democratically elected government in the name of MMD, had continued with those provisions, the amendments came into place. One of the major amendments, Jonah, in the Public Order Act, arising from that was that a group of people now, not only political parties, that wants to assemble, shall notify the police within a period of 7 days. Why? In order to afford the police an opportunity to guarantee them security or provide security. That provision has been abused. It has been abused by governments in power, ruling parties in power. It has been abused by the police themselves. So you continuously get to hear this language that, the police must give you a permit. Nowhere in the current Public Order Act do you need to get a permit from the police. But for some reason, that word has continued, to be used. All that the law says is notify the police. If the police are not able to provide security, they'll get back to you and say, sorry, you wanted a rally or a meeting on Saturday. We don't have enough manpower around that area, so can we shift it to the following weekend? And if the police, approached issues like, this provision like that, I can tell you, I was in government, this, drumbeat, of amend the Public Order Act, would not be such a contested issue. So the point I'm making is, ruling political parties have abused it, the police have abused it, and hence the problem that we are sitting with today.
That sounds like it has loopholes that allows it to be driven based on whoever is in charge. Because, because, I mean, if that weren't the case, then today we wouldn't be talking about it.
Look, there's a difference between the law and attitudes. The problem is that we always think that you can legislate against attitudes. You can't. Okay? You legislate founded on the social conditions of a particular society at that given time. We spend so much time in this country thinking that what is wrong with the law is the law. No. What is wrong with the law are the attitudes of people. Here is a police officer, who says, I have withdrawn the permit. Then you ask him, Bwana, under what provision did you grant me the permit? He can't point at anything. And you know what they tell you next? No, I've got instructions from above.
But that
Extremely
sounds
unreasonable.
why I feel like it makes it very vulnerable is the fact that there's an opportunity for the police to say no by just saying they don't have enough manpower at the moment, and they're supposed to offer an alternative day, which they don't. And if, for example, we're talking about a time-bound event like a political event that the police comes for whatever malicious reasons they may have, and they say you're not able to do it this weekend, you can do it next weekend. But if next weekend is not relevant to your cause, then it's still a disservice. That's why I'm saying it creates a loophole to be abused.
No, look at this. Do you know that they still have the Public Order Act in the United Kingdom? Those demonstrations that you see on TV, they're not spontaneous. They have to inform the police that we want to demonstrate. Do you know that they have the Public Order Act provisions in the United States? The demonstrations that you see, go through the police. They inform the police because the police has to provide security to the protesters. Okay? Now, the difference between the UK and the United States and Zambia is bedrocked in attitudes. That's all. And politics. Like I've given you an example. When you speak to the police officer, what does he tell you? He will look into the ceiling board. Sorry, there is nothing that I can do. The instructions have come from above. Now, above him includes the provincial commanding officer. It includes the Minister of Home Affairs. It includes the Inspector General of Police. It includes even the President. So you have no parameters within which you can argue with a man rationally and reasonably. Okay? And police are not trained to think. They are trained to take orders. Okay?